She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, you're going to have the opportunity to maybe learn some business strategies or tips, or even to learn how to see opportunity through social media, of all things. You know, social media has changed a lot of people's lives. It's changed the way we do business today. It changes really the way we live. There's positives and negatives to social media. And yet, you cannot ignore the power of it. And if you are a business person or a career person, you really need to pay attention today. Even just as a family person, because we hear the stories, you know, some people being drawn into relationships that they shouldn't be in through Facebook. We hear about the woman who found her high school sweetheart, even though she's been married for 25 years and had 6 children, but found her high school sweetheart during a troubling time in her marriage. And then she leaves her 6 children and her husband, and she goes off with her high school sweetheart that she reconnected with on Facebook. So there's some positives and there are some negatives, but I want to kind of, you and I, have an open discussion about it. And you as a human being, that you actually literally have your own website by having Facebook. Facebook can be an amazing place to lead generate. It could be an amazing place to meet people. It can also be an amazing place, like one of our Facebook friends, Tanya Briggs, who her biological family found her on Facebook. She was praying for the opportunity to meet her biological parents and to find out whether or not she had siblings. And sure enough, they found her through Facebook. So there's so many awesome stories that come, but there's also things to be aware of. Do you know that you can actually get fired because of what you post on Facebook? So today is going to help you actually keep your job or make more money on your job, or maybe even create an opportunity for you, as well as if you are marketing anything, whether that is you have a pet business or you have a construction business or a restaurant or you sell clothing. Facebook is a powerful place to do that, as well as other social media places. But listen to this, because here's the facts. And myself as a business person, when I read facts like this, it just makes me go, hello, this is a gold mine. Time magazine reported that of the American adults who use the internet, so just think about that picture right now. We're talking tons of people. We're talking tens of millions of people who are on the internet. So of almost 3/4, it's 67%, 67%. So 2/3, okay, of 2/3 of all the adults in America, are you ready for this? 67% of them are on Facebook. Out of everybody that's on the internet, all the adults that are on the internet, 67% of them are on Facebook. That's a powerful, almost search engine. There's so many opportunities that if you've got that many eyeballs and that many people going to one particular website to catch up on what? The latest gossip on everyone, really. Or they're looking for something. They're getting some kind of a need filled, if you will, because of what social media actually brings. But check this out. 10.5 billion minutes each day is spent worldwide on Facebook. 10.5 billion minutes each day worldwide. Think about that for a second. That is a lot of time that everyone is on one place, which creates awesome opportunity for you as a business or career person, or it actually hurts you greatly as a business or career person. It can hurt your finances greatly if you don't know good strategies on how to use that platform for your benefit. It also can hurt your future career as well. I'm going to tell you right now. We have several positions that we're hiring for right now in our office at DaniJohnson.com. And we, as employers, will always look. When we see applications that come in, we search out people's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. We search it out. Why? Because people are always, when they submit a resume, they're trying to sell themselves to be a certain way. They're trying to present themselves in the best possible light. But employers are actually being able to save themselves from hiring poorly and making a huge mistake for their corporation or their small business by simply looking on Facebook and Instagram to see how is this person really in the background? How do they conduct themselves? What kind of character issues do they have? What kind of interests do they have? Because we can actually see through social media what your personal brand is. What is your personal brand? Are you the brand that says, I hate my boss, I hate life, I hate my work? Are you the brand that is constantly sharing half-naked pictures of women all through your Facebook page? Are you somebody that is dropping F-bombs in social media places? Are you someone that is arguing through a news feed with other people on Facebook? You see, Facebook exposes who you are, how you react, how you treat people, the things you like. Yes, the things you like and the things you don't like. One time I was working, I actually taught a class on social media. It's called Social Media Empire. And I had this man that, had told me that he was building his business because he just wanted to share the gospel. And it was so interesting. Right away, I looked him up right while I was coaching him, and I looked him up and I said, that's so interesting. I said, because your Facebook cover photo, as well as everything that is on your wall, has to do with money. You have a picture of a jet and you standing next to a Mercedes. You have pictures of everything that is greed motivated, certainly not gospel motivated. And I said, friend, if you really are about sharing the gospel, then please tell me why you are sharing the gospel of Mammon, the god of greed. Please tell me why. Because you're misrepresenting your own brand. So either you're lying to me with what we're at the point of why you're in business. Right now you're lying, or you certainly aren't going to catch the fish that you want with what you're promoting there. So anyway, bottom line is that you really do have a brand, and that's what Facebook has actually positioned you for. You have created your own brand, pretty much like your own website. And so today on the Dani Johnson Show, we're going to actually be having callers calling in, sharing how they use Facebook, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, what are posts that you are actually attracted to, what is the main source of what you use it for. And this is going to be an awesome case study for this 2 hours to see what is it that is drawing us, human beings, 7 billion people, to spend 10.5 billion hours every single day on one website. 10.5 billion hours, 10.5 billion hours, 10.5 billion minutes every day from 7 billion people on the planet, spending 10.5 billion minutes every single day on one place. What is our fascination with it? What is it that we are gaining from it? And what are some of the negatives that you're experiencing from it? And I even want to hear maybe from some of you parents, what are some of the trouble that your kids have gotten into as a direct result of that? We've got to be wise with this new age of technology. We've got to be smart. We've got to be as gentle as a dove, but as wise as a serpent. So my phone number is 844-200-3264. Again, that's 844-200-3264. Recently, when I was in San Antonio, Texas, they had some major thing happen inside of their hotel, and it brought up a conversation as I was talking with some of the general management of that hotel, and it's a very successful hotel. And interestingly enough, they put in a policy over this last year about they have a Facebook policy now in their policies and procedures in their manual for the employee manual. And what it is that if any employee, whether it is the janitor, the housekeeper, the chef, or somebody in management makes a negative post about their job, make a negative post about the people they just met at the hotel, if in any way, shape, or form that there's anything negative said about coworkers on Facebook, about the brand of the Hyatt Hotel, of anybody saying anything about some of the guests that were staying in the hotel, anything that would be derogatory or share any kind of discord, the Hyatt Hotel actually has Facebook and Twitter and Instagram police, if you will, and they are policing the employees' Facebook pages. Now, it works like this. They have obviously a system of being able to flag anybody that is employed there, and if they say anything that has a certain set of words or whatever rhythm of what they're saying, they get fired immediately. And those employees know it when they get that job. They sign a document saying that if I say anything that is sowing discord in any way, shape, or form through social media, I'm out of here. And so look at that. And that's wise by the Hyatt. They are protecting their brand. Now you might say, well, that's ridiculous, Dani. I mean, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be trying to control people like that. Hold on a second. How many people is the Hyatt Hotel responsible for providing for? People always have the wrong perspective. It's amazing to me. You see, when you're not at the top, you're seeing things from the bottom looking up, and all you do really see is how you benefit. But you see, the Hyatt Hotel is responsible for generating billions of dollars to pay for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of worldwide employees, who those thousands upon thousands upon thousands of worldwide employees are providing for thousands upon thousands and tens of thousands of children that they're providing for their own families. So if the Hyatt Hotel had something come against them by way of something that went viral by one employee, or let's say this, and this is they say we have one of the basketball players from the Miami Heat staying in our hotel, and one of our housekeepers says, LeBron James is an XYZ, can't believe what a jerk, bam, that hurts LeBron James's brand. And then he can sue the Hyatt Hotel because it came from somebody over here. Do you understand what I'm saying? So literally, they have to protect their employees. It's not about control. It's about protecting the livelihood of the tens of thousands of people that they are providing for every single day. You see, there's such a 98% mentality concerning jobs. People who work in jobs have a tendency of thinking, serve me, give me, I want. Versus, how do I help this business to succeed? And how can I help to protect this brand? And how can I help it to grow? And how can I grow with it? Well, if you are spreading negative news about your boss or about the brand in which you represent, then guess what? You're hurting your own paycheck. You're hurting your own paycheck. You're hurting your ability to move up. You're hurting your children's future because you are not moving up. Do you understand? So I actually agree with Hyatt's policy. In fact, we might be adding a policy even within our own. And why? We believe in a culture of honor and respect. And yes, people lose their marbles once in a while, and people get short with somebody else once in a while. And you know what? If someone decides to go on Facebook and tarnish a brand, that hurts everybody's livelihood. This is Dani Johnson. I'm going to take your call right after this concerning Facebook.
Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show. Did you know you can take The Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you.
Imagine living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel made of waste material on top of old mining tunnels that could explode and sink your home at any moment. Imagine no water to drink, no safe place to raise your children, no food for your starving baby. Imagine that your kids can't learn to read because they have to work to support the family instead of going to school. Could you imagine living in that kind of fear and hopelessness? This is exactly what families are dealing with in the poverty-stricken village of Santa Pancha, Nicaragua. These families can barely meet their basic food, water, and housing needs. We are transforming that village. Be a part of this miracle. I want you to go to the website now and learn how you can help. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha. There you can join with other warriors against poverty and help bring a miraculous transformation to Santa Pancha. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org.
More resources, more training, more results. The DaniJohnson.com Insider Membership is your ultimate success shortcut. Get exclusive access to reports, videos, audios, ebooks, cheat sheets, and other training for your personal and professional life. This is truly DaniJohnson.com's best kept secret. Become an Insider member today and get on the fast track to success. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
We're supposed to be connecting with people. People love to connect with people. And you know, when Facebook first started, lots of people had different opinions. But I'm telling you what, I saw it as something as incredibly dangerous. I'm always that person. Like when the internet first started going crazy and my husband was just right on the cutting edge of that wave, I was like, it's evil, it's bad, it's terrible, right? I was that person. I was the full-on ignorant idiot at that time. Obviously, I've come around the table and I can see that there is, yes, some terrible negatives, but there's also some very great, powerful things that can happen as well. We're talking about Facebook today. How do you use it? What is it that stimulates you about it? 844-200-3264. Are you one of the 67% of the of all of the American adults that are on the internet? Are you of the 67% that is spending time every single day on Facebook? 10.5 billion minutes every day is spent. Can you believe that? So as a business person, that's a ton of opportunity, my friend. It's a ton. But how can you take advantage of that opportunity and use it for your benefit and be aware that Facebook could actually hurt your reputation if you're not wise and responsible with the communication that you have? I've got Anna on line 6 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anna, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Yeah, I love Facebook, Dani.
Tell me why.
I laugh. I see so many, funny things and encouraging things, and it is a bright spot in my day when I get to see something that someone's posted that makes me laugh or smile or just uplifts me. I also really like it for news because I get access to news that I'm interested in, and I don't necessarily watch the news or read the newspaper, but I can kind of pick and choose what news I actually can receive by subscribing to stuff.
So tell me, Anna, what kind of things do you subscribe to? Because, again, I love this because me being able to talk to you and everybody else that's going to be calling in, I want to learn and see what is it that people are subscribing to. What is it that is making a difference in their lives? Or like you said, it makes me laugh. I like finding funny things that are on there or specific news things versus, right, we have to sit through hours of news on a television, which I will not do, have never done. Right. But, you got to sit through boring, and try to find a story that actually appeals to you or that you actually care about. And so what are some of the funny pages, the things that make you laugh? Because I agree with you. People need to laugh and they want to laugh. And I do see that some funny Facebook pictures or quotes can make people laugh. I think I don't do enough laughter on our page, actually, now that I think about it, that you're saying that. I don't.
Well, I love God Vine. Those stories are always uplifting, and they're not, the tragedy of the day. I love God Vine. I love all the funny animal videos and the funny baby videos and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm also very pro-life, and so I get a lot of my pro-life news about what's going on in, the kind of battle that we're fighting in our country, pro-life versus abortion. So I'm kind of in touch on that, have my finger on the pulse on that because it's very important to me.
Awesome.
But like you were saying earlier about values and priorities and interests, that's also one thing I really like, is because there are certain people out there that have values and priorities and interests that are similar to mine. Mm-hmm. And based on what they post, I can actually find that out about them and, share things with them, and they can share things with me. And maybe we would have never even talked about that in person.
Right, right. So you can actually kind of decide what kind of birds you're flocking with using Facebook.
Exactly.
And just paying attention to the things that you are currently interested in. That's really awesome and helpful, especially for any business people that are listening right now. I just learned something for sure. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing that with us. I really appreciate your input. You know what? Okay, I'm making a note. People do want to laugh. And so what? You might be saying right now, but how does that apply to my business? Oh my gosh, it so applies to your business. You see, you can attract people to your page, and your page represents a brand. And people may not ever hear about your website any other way than through Facebook or somebody sharing it through Facebook. But part of the ways that you can attract more people to your page is to put at the end of the hook what people like. And people like to laugh, and people need to laugh. And so I know for me, I just got convicted. I'm like, darn, I say it all the time that people need to have fun. They need not to be so serious. But my Facebook page is a little too serious. Yeah, I think daily. Yeah, we encourage people a lot on our Facebook page, but I think We need to be more fun. All right, that's awesome. Anyway, I'm always looking for your input. I want to hear, what is it that you are drawn to with Facebook? How are you using it for your business career? Or have you gotten fired from the job because of something you posted on Facebook before? I'd love to hear from you, because someone needs to hear that. Someone needs to know they can lose their job based on what they're posting. 844-200-3264. Leave us your comment if you get the voicemail. We're going to take your call right after this.
Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
This is your chance. This is your shot. Get your copy of War on Debt right now. There's one waiting for you that has your family's name on it. And inside that package is freedom. Your family's freedom is on the inside of that package. All you have to do is open it up, press play, and start applying what I teach you in this program. 888-757-8880. You and I are going to help your family become completely debt-free in the next 5 to 7 years. Just imagine how that's going to feel.
My name's Erin Hudson, and I'm from Huntington Beach, California. You know, I just have to share with you, I never thought I'd be up here in a million years. And I have to tell you, my story is not my story. My story is to help each one of you, to give you a little bit more hope. And as I share with you my story, I apologize up front. I get really emotional. We have been through hell and back. And I share this with you again to really give you hope, okay? Prior to coming to First Steps, we had filed for bankruptcy in 2010. I was a broken woman. My marriage was in a downward spiral. My kids were completely out of control. My business ruled my life night and day. And then I found Dani Johnson. Since attending First Steps to Success in July of 2012, my marriage has been restored. My kids are now the most respectable, loving children to one another and to their parents. We never traveled anywhere. We now travel around the world and have traveled with many of you that we consider close friends. We've gone to Belize the last 2 years, and I've been able to share with my children and show them how to serve others that are in more need than any of us happen to be. On top of that, our biggest accomplishment yet, I would have to say, is last month we paid off the last of our debt, and we paid off in the last 2 years and 2 months, $892,000. Wait, hold on, and some cents. $892,522 of debt, and we are now officially business and personal debt free. I have to say, this core report that Dani's going to equip you with today is going to change you. You're going to become a phenomenal champion communicator. And just with what she's going to teach you this afternoon, we're projected to hit $1 million. And I know it's because of what she's going to teach you in this next portion. And without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce my mentor and coach, America's favorite millionaire, Dani Johnson.
Be sure to tell a friend about The Dani Johnson Show. It just might be the key to the breakthrough they need.
Time is money. And the humans on this planet are spending 10.5 billion minutes every single day on one website. Wow. That website is Facebook. Powerful phenomenon. And it's teaching us something about our culture today. It's teaching us something about people and business. It's teaching us something about the wants and the needs and some of the strengths, as well as even some of the goals. It's showing us how we can tap into different people groups so that we can be aligned with who we want to be aligned with, versus some of them negative Nellies who just love to rant and be negative all the time on everything that they want to talk to you about. This is Dani Johnson. We've got Gina from Honolulu, Hawaii. Welcome to the Dani Johnson Show.
Hello.
So how are you using social media?
I'm using it for my business, and one day I was able to write $28,000 in orders in one day.
And that was through Facebook.
It was through Facebook, and I was speaking to the people through gems. So your systems with gems, I was able to speak, to the ruby, get this product because you'll be the first one on the block, and for the pearls, this product will help you raise money. And so I really spoke the gems, and I was really in total shock because I didn't realize the response I was going to get.
Yeah. So for business versus just throwing out a constant advertisement through your Facebook page, you were speaking the language of the 4 different personalities that we teach from our First Steps to Success, which is called GEMS. So Ruby is what Gina just mentioned. Okay, so they care about being first. They want to be at the front of the line. They got to be the first to do everything. So she actually coupled her advertisement on Facebook around that specific personality. And then the Pearl, who is the opposite, they care about charity, they care about raising money, or they care about their family. They care about very emotional type of things, and they care a lot about relationships. So she wrote the advertisement to be customized to that particular personality. And then, of course, the ones, the Sapphire, who loves to have fun and they like to do spontaneous things, you can actually write an advertisement that is speaking directly to that. And then our Emeralds are the ones who don't do anything spontaneous, but they have to think things through, and it needs to be a wise decision, and you have to sell them the benefits as well as confront them on their risks. And so, Gina, that's really awesome. So $28,000 worth of business in one day on Facebook. Did that shock you? I mean, that's crazy.
I think my husband was more in shock because he said, "What did you do on Facebook?" And I said, "What? I just was trying to talk to people about the benefits of this product." And he said, "Well, did you know that every order that came in, we asked, where did you hear about this?" And I said, "Gina's on Facebook right now talking about it. And did you know I stayed on there for almost 20 hours answering questions because people just wanted their questions to be answered." And so I met another need there, and then I really showed how our product was amazing for stay-at-home moms.
Yeah. Which is another target market. Now, hold on, Gina. So did you advertise, or you're just saying you built your page? So you tried to make as many friends as possible, and building out your friend list, right? And as you did that, then other people came. And so you had all those friends on your Facebook page, and then you would just make this post about, let's say you're talking to, who we said earlier, the Rubies, who want to be first and have, be ahead of the trend, be the first one a part of the trend of buying this particular product. And they responded. So you showed up in their newsfeed, and they responded, and they bought something.
Yeah, and it just went viral because people kept posting every second, and it got up to like 800, comments and likes, and people, it dings on your phone, so people pick it up like, wow, what's the buzz all about? And then they start chiming in, and next thing you know, I mean, I have people running to my house dropping off money. It was wild.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And all through your fingertips, literally all through your fingertips, and thinking, okay, how would this personality what would they want to hear concerning my bag? And that's what's smart. And what most people do on Facebook is they make the big giant mistake of always talking about what they are interested in instead of coming from the perspective of the one reading the newsfeed. Gina, I'm proud of you. Congratulations, $28,000 worth of sales in one day from a Facebook post. Using Facebook in that way, that's powerful. And it is important to learn those very powerful communication skills that you obviously have learned here at DaniJohnson.com and taken advantage of that training. So I'm really, really proud of you. Good job. Thanks so much for calling in and sharing that amazing story. Okay, we've got Chad from Naples, Florida. Chad, tell us about your Facebook experience.
Dani, thanks. I'm really glad you're talking about this today because I think it's important, and I think Facebook can be used strategically in a very powerful way if you have a strategy for what you're doing. But I think as a father in particular, I'm always kind of looking at maybe I'm looking at the wrong way, but I'm kind of looking at the dark sides of this too. Yeah. And one that comes to mind immediately was You know, I always said I was never going to be that father that just came home from work after a tough day and dropped in front of the TV and disappeared into the TV all night.
Yep.
And what did I do? I got on Facebook, and I still do the same thing, but instead of the TV, I'm crashing in front of Facebook for the night, and that's not the kind of dad I want to be. So I have to be really careful about that.
Yeah.
And also as a dad, with boys who are coming of age and are wanting to connect with their friends on Facebook, boy, I keep my guard up really, really high. And maybe I'm a little overprotective, but I'm really wanting to be careful. They never get on Facebook alone. They always have a peer,
Yep.
you know, a brother or one of us that's sitting with them. Because there's just, even if we know everybody on their friends list, there's always the potential that something's going to come up that they're just not mature enough to handle.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, Chad, I got to speak into that because we allowed one of our sons who had the appearance of being very, very mature and very, very honorable. But you can take the most mature teenager, you can take the most mature and honorable father or mother, and you put them in a situation where they can be tempted again and again and again through different types of messaging, and they're going to fall. I don't care if it's the Pope. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but the reality is we are human. And if we put ourselves in an environment where there is no accountability, where we can get into secret places where there are things hidden that will then open up and awaken a part of us that is very destructive and ideals that are destructive, we will end up on a rabbit hole that is very dangerous. So, Chad, I don't think that you are overprotective, but I gave up in a battle for the Facebook thing, and I conceded to allow our son, who at that time was 13 years old, with parental supervision. However, Mom and Dad were not very consistent with our parental supervision. And what I found was for a 13-year-old, the inbox was the most dangerous place. The inboxing friends back and forth. And so when I got into it, because again, I have the password for their Facebook page, right? And our kids, only our older kids have Facebook now. Our kids are still in the house. They don't even want anything to do with it. It's hilarious. But so when I would go and check, and I didn't check often enough, and that was my mistake as a parent, to keep that accountability and to keep that environment safe for them. But oh my gosh, I found one of my sons in all kinds of conversations and saying, I love you to a girl at 13 years old and talking about their future together and all this. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So it was crazy. And then not to mention some other things that they encountered. It's real simple to click a link to something that ends up in your news feed as a sponsored link, and it could be something pornographic, it could be something evil. And my sons got exposed in that way. It takes them to one page where it's a girl in a bikini, but then what? Their precious little eyes that are being exposed, and now their body is being awakened to sexual things too young. There's a problem. And so, Chad, I don't think you're overprotective, but the thing that you've said that I think is wise is you never want to be that dad that came home from a hard day's work, sit down in front of the TV, and bam, there it was, no relationship with your family, but you have found yourself doing that with Facebook, and we got to turn that thing off. We need to limit ourselves. We need to be wise with it, but also being protective over your sons and explaining to them why, that dad's not trying to control. This is about protection. And let me tell you, there's a lot of hidden things within this very powerful mechanism of communication. And so limit the amount of time, and yes, have some kind of supervision, but also you got to set alarms on your phone to spot check any messages, and don't tell them that you're going into their inbox. We didn't tell our son that, but that's where we found the mess, and it was a mess. It was a mess, and it took a long time to clear it up. And the places that my son's heart went by being drawn into that dark place and the exposure to pornography that he had, to then cutting himself, to then having suicidal thoughts. Literally, that's where that entire thing went. He's totally not there anymore, and thank God, and he lives to tell about it. But I think you're being wise, Chad. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more of the Dani Johnson Show right after this.
Don't go away. The next segment might just change your life.
I just heard this amazing story. One of our clients had written us telling us that they had used job domination and unlimited success and has absolutely exploded their career. He said, Dani, I don't know where I'd be today without job domination and unlimited success. Listen, Do you want more recognition from your coworkers? Do you want to be recommended to people all over the world? Do you want to be somebody that is highly sought after? Listen, if you're in a dead-end place where this gentleman found himself, but then learned new strategies and changed everything in his work life, and obviously this has resulted in higher bonuses and pay raises, you're next. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of Job Domination right now. 888-757-8880. Again, 888-757-8880. Job Domination. That's what you need. It's time for you to dominate the job market and break through the rut that you're in.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First steps to success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS.
But I'm so blessed that I found what is in Grooming the Next Generation for Success. This is a book that is being taught in universities around the world. It's been noted as the best book on parenting that has ever been written. Crazy, if you ask me. But the point is that this thing gets results. Get your copy today, 888-757-8880. Again, that's 888-757-8880. Or go to DaniJohnson.com. That's D-A-N-I Johnson.com. Get your copy today.
And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
It takes a tremendous amount of self-discipline to make sure that you don't burn hours on social media. Social media is a great and powerful tool that can help you build your career, get better paying positions, grow your business, your brand. And it is also a very powerful mechanism that can hurt your brand, destroy your career opportunities, and get you fired. No joke. It is important that if you are going to use social media, that you use it for what it is there for. People connecting with people and helping to give people what they want. We found out in the first hour of the Dani Johnson Show that people like to see funny posts. They also like to be encouraged. Now, you right there are saying, look, why do I care about encouraging anybody? And why in the world should I post something funny? Because it actually draws people back to your page. And your page is seriously like your own website of your own brand. You are branding yourself and connecting with people. And connectors have high value in the marketplace. I teach this at our business training seminar, First Steps to Success, how to become a connector, because a connector has resources. And anyone who has resources and connections can solve problems really, really, really quickly. And you become more valuable when you can solve problems in the marketplace as well as at home. So we've been taking your call about Facebook, the pet peeves about it, the things you like about it, how you're using it, amazing ideas that we've heard so far. And if you are a career or business person or even a parent, it's important for you to understand the power, both negatively and positively, that Facebook can have on your life, on your family life. Karen from Sacramento is calling in. Karen, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. What's your comments concerning Facebook?
Hi, thank you, Dani. Yes, I am a business owner. I actually have two businesses, and my main marketing, especially for one of my businesses, is Facebook.
Really?
I can't imagine starting a business right now without marketing on Facebook. That would be crazy in my mind. Yeah.
How are you doing that? How are you using, what kind of marketing are you doing on Facebook?
Yeah, so I have my business pages, and I have taken the time to learn the skills on how to attract people to my pages. And some of it has been through the Facebook advertising. And a lot of it, that's the great thing about Facebook, a lot of it is word of mouth.
Yeah.
If somebody reposts my post, then that person has the opportunity to join my page.
Yep.
And so it really just grows on itself. And for very little marketing money, you just have this exponential growth.
Yep.
And so it's been an incredible tool for my business.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think it's funny that you're saying I could not imagine starting a business without utilizing Facebook, right? And what would we have done 5 years ago? That's the thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Or 6 or 7 years ago, before Facebook was the actual craze. What did we do? Well, we tried to build business through word of mouth to ear, mouth to ear. Now we are able to do it fingertip to eyeball. And that is a great, powerful way to do it. And it doesn't take a lot of time. It doesn't take a lot of time at all to do it. I know people that have built pages on 5 hours a week into the hundreds of thousands. Yeah. And you don't have to have a page of hundreds of thousands to run a successful business from it either. So, Karen, hey, what would you say is a pet peeve? What are things you don't like to see on Facebook?
Oh. Let's see. Pictures of people's broken legs and things like that. Please leave that at home. And, just the negativity. I don't like negativity. I will unlike your page or anything like that. No. I don't follow any of that.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to address something that you talked about a little earlier, Danny, about how, targeting, and you talk about this at first step, giving the fish what they want.
Yes.
And to me, as a marketing person, I can test pilot ideas.
Yep.
So if I make a post
for free,
I get immediate feedback.
Yep.
If that post goes viral, I get all sorts of people liking it and whatever. I know that's a topic I need to explore. It could be a product I need to explore.
Yep.
And you just can't get that immediate feedback like you can on Facebook.
It's so true. It is, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's free. That's the part that's amazing, is that it's absolutely free to do a quick test market and to see what people are responding to. Yeah, Karen, thanks for pointing that out. Thanks so much for being a faithful listener to the Dani Johnson Show. I appreciate you tremendously. Okay, now listen, on that note, I learned 25 years ago when I ventured out in the business community, one of the things that I learned from the first millionaire I got to study under was this. He said, learn more about people than you do anything else, and you'll be unusually successful. So I've been studying people for the last 25 years, and Facebook is an amazing place to study people. And by the way, all the big merchandisers study you, whether you realize it or not. They do, including the network that is airing this show. They have studied their market, which is you. You're listening. You're watching this, okay? Or if you are, it doesn't matter. Whatever you listen to, whatever television or radio show that you listen to, whatever magazines you buy, that is a study of people. And so those very brilliant people that are making billions of dollars or millions of dollars have an understanding about people. And this is where Facebook has been brilliant, because you see what people respond to. You see what they want. You see what their needs are and how you may be able to serve them and fill that need. Okay, we've got Mike from Miami, Florida, with some comments about Facebook. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dani. How's it going?
Good. So what is your take on Facebook, and how do you use it, or what do you hate about it?
So my take on Facebook is, it's a very good promotional tool. It's a really great opportunity to talk about the you brand. And actually just had a conversation with someone about this. I run a business from home, and the person had asked me, are you not in business for yourself anymore? I don't see anything about your products or stuff like that. And I think it's on purpose, because what you want to show is you're a person who helps change lives. And so I think it's a great opportunity to share testimonials of people in your life that you've helped, or maybe people that you meet, how you help them. That is more positive. And Dani, you talk about this, facts tell, but stories sell.
Yep.
And so let Facebook tell that story that you're sharing, whether it's you paying off debt or you made some serious life change, you got a promotion at work, anything like that.
Yep. And people like good news. They really do. You know what was interesting, though, is that there was another study that was done. I think it was 27%, and Time Magazine was the one that, Time Magazine reported that 27% of the people said that they plan to spend less time because they walk away feeling sad. Whether it is Well, sad and negative. And so just hearing today on this show, there were several people who said, I hate it when there's negative stuff that gets, and so I don't share negative stuff. I don't subscribe to negative pages because that's not what people are looking for. They are looking for a place to laugh. They're looking for a place to smile. They're looking for a place to be encouraged or something that's going to build their faith. And that's important. Stories do. So Mike from Miami, do you have a story that you've shared on Facebook that is your own? Like, what has happened to your life in the last 12 months?
Oh, man. Let's see. So, yeah, actually, I did post a story about this, I think a couple of days ago. But I'm actually, prior to learning about DaniJohnson.com and getting involved with First Steps to Success, 12 months ago, I was actually a person who was overworked. I felt like I was in a rat wheel, kind of turning the wheel and didn't know where I was going and landing at the same spot. And since getting plugged in, implementing war and debt, I've actually paid off $157,000 of debt in the past 12 months.
Wow.
Not only that, but I went from a big fat goose egg in my savings account to $32,000 more just by implementing the simple strategies that I learned in war and debt, attending First Steps to Success. I've been brought back to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I have a beautiful bride that I honor and cherish, all thanks to the skills that I've learned and developed because of your training, Dani. So thank you very much for that.
Mike, thanks for sharing that. That's incredible. Now, what do you find that when you share your story about this debt that you've paid off, and now that you have money in savings, now again, you don't make money from promoting that, but what has that done with helping to build your Facebook page or helping to build your business?
My goodness. So, Dani, it gives people a lot of hope. I mean, usually the comments are, how did you do that? What did you do? And usually I get a flood of Facebook messages or, I get a lot of positive comments. Yeah. It just really gives people hope because I set the stage where, look, here's where I was 12 months ago, and I developed the Me Too's, as you like to refer to, because there are people right now on your page that are probably in that same position. Yep. When you tell a story like that and they know who you are personally, that's what's going into their mind. Man, why not me? Yep. And that excitement, that motivation, and not only yourself, you're sharing other people's stories that that just creates such a burning fire and desire for that person to know what you're doing. Yep. And that's a great opportunity for you to help change that person's life and improve your own personal endeavors at the same time. Absolutely.
Mike, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you for using Facebook to change people's lives versus, I don't know, posting a half-naked woman picture or the size of your muscles. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, guys, come on. Or instead of posting the sandwich you ate for lunch, you know what I mean? It's like, let's use this powerful mechanism to give hope, to spread a dream, to challenge people to think differently, and to challenge people to come out of a rut that they might be in. Let's use this powerful mechanism to inspire people to greatness instead of, I just had a tuna sandwich. All right, dude, thanks. Anyway, Mike, thanks so much for sharing that awesome story. Yeah, I know. Those kind of things put us all to sleep, don't they? People who rant and rant and rant. Listen, I've had my share of ranting on Facebook like we all have. And by the way, if you haven't come over to our page, there's 251,000 people who all join a great community, people like Mike, people like Jane that have called in and said that they are a part of that community. You can build an amazing community on Facebook. Our page specifically has a lot of encouragers. It's not just what we post, but it's our community that has all gotten together. And man, when somebody makes a post on there and they say, gosh, I've had a really hard day, you will see 10, 20 people just jumping on that saying, be encouraged, stay consistent, be persistent. I was there. And then they're just flooding them with stories. So if you are that person that you need encouragement and you need to find a new people to flock with versus the negative Nellies that are out there, then come over to our page. It's facebook.com/Dani Johnson Live. So if you type in Dani Johnson Live on Facebook, you'll find us. And I suggest that you get a hold of the freebies, the free book, for example, First Steps to Wealth, that's available if you go to our Facebook page. You can get a copy of this book right now. Anyway, we're going to dive more into some harmful things that you can do that hurts your impact in the marketplace right after this.
Stay right here for more of The Dani Johnson Show.
The whole story of how I went from homeless to millions is right here in this book, First Steps to Wealth. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book. Just dial 888-757-8880. You can get your free copy of this book. It's like a real book, my friend. You can get an ebook copy for free right now, or if you'd like to pay the shipping to get this $15 book to your house, I'd be happy to send it to you. 888-757-8880. Get your copy of First Steps to Wealth today and begin on a brand new path of some great success. For families in Santa Pancha, Nicaragua, life is filled with fear and struggle. They don't have enough food for their kids, clean water is hard to find, and they're living in a decrepit, unsafe hovel on top of mining tunnels that could explode and sink at any moment. But a miracle is in the making, and you can be a part of transforming this village. Go to kingsransom.org and click on Santa Pancha to see how you can help. That's kingsransom.org, kingsransom.org, and click on Santa Pancha.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Did you do it? Did you do what we just talked about? Like, wait, Dani, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Did you go and look on your Facebook page, on your wall, and see what you've been talking about? Have you gone and seen how maybe others might be perceiving your post? I hope you have, because you actually can determine how you want the world to perceive you, all based on what you're writing on Facebook. Earlier, when I had my coworker with me, Raven, she helps me with our Facebook page, helps our whole company actually with our Facebook page. And by the way, if you haven't come over to that page, it's Dani Johnson Live. Again, that's DANI Johnson Live. And there is a free book on there available. If you go to that page and you haven't been there before, we've got a free book. It's called First Steps to Wealth. It's my story of how I went from homeless to multi-millionaire. 23 years ago, I was a homeless woman, started a business from the trunk of my car in a payphone booth. And within 2 years, I made my first million. I've learned a lot since that time. I made a lot of financial mistakes, even ended up in a crazy severe amount of debt. How we bailed ourselves out of that foolishness and being able to create wealth, which again, wealth is accumulated, riches run from you. My first 10 years, made lots of money, spent it all. And so I share the strategies that we had to use, as well as the strategies that helped me to start that business initially. So anyway, so if you go to that page, you can download an ebook copy of First Steps to Wealth. If you'd like to have the hard copy of it, you just can dial our office, which is 866-760-8255. Again, that's 866-760-8255. Now back to you succeeding with social media. We've talked about a lot of things on this show that was really devoted to kind of opening your eyes from the perspective as a business person, the opportunities you have to use Facebook. We heard all kinds of stories, right? One of our clients actually called in and she did $28,000 worth of sales in one day from a post on Facebook. And so she learned some powerful skill sets that we teach on how to be able to do that, as well as we've heard about people losing their jobs and fathers being concerned. Me sharing a personal story about my son who got trapped in a Facebook web of all kinds of sexual conversations way too early in life. So anyway, we talked about a lot of things, but the thing that Raven and I mentioned was about that we've been able to raise millions of dollars on Facebook. We have found that Facebook actually has been more powerful than any other form of media out there with trying to help families who truly are in need. You know what I mean by need, right? You know, we live such spoiled lives, don't we? We have everything. We've got washing machines to wash our clothes. We've got timers set on our coffee makers that wake us, that the coffee starts getting brewed while our alarm is going off in our bedrooms. We have hot water. We do, and we even complain when somebody else got in the shower before we did and used up all the hot water on a cold winter morning. We have so many things that we have to be grateful for, right? We've got refrigerators packed with food, and it keeps the food cold, and freezers, and then some people even have outdoor freezers. And then there are people like this grandmother that I met who has made a home for herself. Actually, it was a tent. Literally, it was just like a tent. And it was made from old banana branches, dead banana branches. You can only imagine how many bugs would be inside of there. And it was just literally like a one-man tent. Come on, you remember when you're a kid and, or you remember the Charlie Brown movies, you put up a string between two trees, you throw a tarp over it, and you put your sleeping bag right there on the ground. Well, that would be a 5-star resort compared to what this grandmother lives in every single day. And so what's so beautiful about what we've seen on Facebook is people who have responded to great need. And not only that, but being able to share your heart that you have for other people who are suffering. I mean, this woman literally just made it kind of right next to a road. That's where she built this little tent out of old, dried up banana leaves. And that's what she calls home because she has no property. And why? An earthquake hit her village, Kadwa, Haiti. And when that earthquake hit that village, it destroyed her family. She lost her children, her grandchildren. There's nobody to take care of her now. Her relatives were killed in this terrible disaster that happened. And you know what the sad part is? Is that this place, Kadwa, Haiti, is voiceless. They don't have any transportation to get outside of that village. Do you understand? They don't have televisions. They don't have radios. They don't have the internet. They don't have cell phones. They don't have anything. They also don't have food or clean water. And so there's no way they can get help. But God guided a team of us to go into this very deep place and to find these people who've just been left, dying one at a time. So as we've shared these stories on Facebook and given people a link and an opportunity to help, because it only costs $6,400 to build that grandmother a home that she, I'm sure, will then allow other grandmothers to come and live with her, that will give her clean water. We're building 2 water supplies in this Kadwa, Haiti, 2 water supplies that will feed 2,000 people for the rest of their lives. You could literally give $100 and feed somebody clean, fresh water that will not kill them, but clean, pure water that will sustain them for the rest of their lives. And what? It's $100. Come on, you've got $100 worth of food going bad in your fridge right now. You have hundreds of dollars of clothes in your closet, some of which you haven't even worn yet. Not to mention the tools that are in the garage. Come on, think about it. How many thousands of dollars in shoes do you have? How many thousands of dollars in Burger King, McDonald's, and Kentucky Fried Chicken wrappers are in just the back of your car? It's crazy when we think about how much waste we have, and yet this precious grandmother who has nothing every day waking up to the loss of losing her husband, children, and grandchildren, she was the only survivor, and nobody to feed her, nobody to help. But you and I could be the voice to the voiceless, and that's where Facebook I have found to be very powerful. Because Facebook has given us the opportunity to be the voice to the voiceless. If you want to help us, just help us. Go to kingsransom.org. Right on the homepage, it says Kadwa, Haiti. It's big, right in the center. Click on that and do what you can. $5, $10, $100. But more importantly, get on Facebook and share the story I just shared with you. You'll know that you're doing something good and get other people to give for that cause. Maybe you and your Facebook friends could all sponsor one house or help to take care of 5 people of the 2,000 people that need clean water, each with $100. If you go get 5 people, we got $600 going towards helping 6 people have clean, fresh water for the rest of their lives. Isn't that awesome? And that's the power of social media. We've been able to give millions of dollars to causes like Kadwa, Haiti, people who are in need. When earthquakes happen, we jump right on it and have utilized a powerful medium to do good in the world. Instead of posting naked photos or what we're having for lunch or gossip about somebody else or ranting about something you cannot do, you can use your influence and your time to make a difference in the world. So if we've been able to raise millions using Facebook, what could you do with Facebook? I encourage you, join us on this adventure. Look at our examples. See how we're posting each week about something like Kadwa, Haiti. And you start doing that, and you start showing that you have a heart and you care for people. And it's important that people see that. This is Dani Johnson. I hope that today's show was helpful and beneficial to you. I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day.
If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been The Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.